southern Minnesota and parts of Iowa suffered through extreme flooding conditions this past summer and fall. And while it can be tough to get through a natural disaster, from cleanup to paying all the bills, there is help available. Now, one of the places victims can find assistance is through the University of Minnesota Extension. And here to walk us through some of the process is Phyllis Onstad, an Extension educator and family resource management. Welcome, Phyllis. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Sarah.
All right, so after all these disasters, I mean, we're just kind of talking, all the bills pile up, it can get very overwhelming. How do you, at the Extension office, help out those folks? What are some of the resources?
Some of the resources that we use is we help people understand that it's a long-term recovery process and that there will be many pieces to their financial recovery. And so they may need to speak to a number of different kinds of professionals. It will be very important for them to talk to a mortgage lender, to their banker. They may need to talk to a lawyer. And if they have a case manager who can help them find out what new pieces of assistance are coming in over this period of time, that would be wonderful. What we have to offer at the University of Minnesota Extension is trained financial counselors. They have a broad background in family economics. And so they can help people put together where they're at financially now, what resources they're lacking, and take a look at a long-range plan to get resources needed to get back into housing.
Now, are you guys getting a lot of folks that were affected by the floods? Are you hearing from people?
Yes, we are hearing from people. In Minnesota, in the recent disaster, the FEMA grants were not available, and that's money that does not have to be paid back. So financially, people will really need to concentrate. How am I going to come through this? What's out there? And we can help them identify some of those resources. And we can also help them understand what options and what decisions or even what questions to ask people as they move down the road towards recovery.
Now, what do you tell folks that might have a home mortgage that they're worried about, or they might have lost a business or something like that, and then they have to still pay their mortgage? I mean, how do you deal with that?
Many people are dealing with making a mortgage payment and now renting, because it'll be months before they get back into their home. So it's very, very important for them to call their mortgage lender early on and explain the situation. There are several what are known as workouts that you could do with a lender, and there's 4 very common ones. One of them that's people are looking at is forbearance. But whatever workout that you use, it needs to fit the lender's requirements. It needs to work for you to make those payments. Forbearance is putting like 6 months of payments on the end. In 6 months, you'll know a lot more clearly how you're going to come through this and be able to get back into making a regular mortgage payment. So the important thing is to explore that option and early on. And in Minnesota and in Iowa, there are mortgage foreclosure prevention specialists, and they can really take the mystery out of all of this, and they can sit down and talk to you, and they're trained by the Iowa Housing entity and the Minnesota Housing Home Ownership Center.
And I think we have, as we wrap up here, we've got on our screen right now, we have kind of a toolkit that folks can go ahead and go to the website, check that out, see if there's some more questions that they have. Hopefully that can answer, and you guys are always around for help.
It's a comprehensive toolkit. It will really be helpful to people.
Well, thanks so much, Phyllis Onstad. We really appreciate you being on, and thank you for all the great tips.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll be right back after the break.
Celebrate the seasons, or celebrate the reasons, with gifts, arrangements, and